You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly.
Good morning. I am Hope Knight, Commissioner of the Department of Economic Development, and as Chair, I now call to order the meeting of the members of the New York Job Development Authority for Thursday, June 26, 2025. I'd like to note for the record that this meeting is being webcast. I will also note for the record the public was given the opportunity to provide comments on the agenda by submitting their written comments by noon yesterday. I'd like to further state for the record that no comments were received from the public concerning today's agenda, and we do not have any members of the public in attendance. The members have received the written materials in advance of this meeting and are free to ask questions at any time during the presentations. I will now ask members whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to any of the items on the agenda. If so, I will ask that you make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time. No conflicts. Okay, hearing none. The first item on today's agenda is the approval of the minutes of July 18th, 2024 and January 29th, 2025 members meeting. Are there questions, comments, additions, or deletions on either set? If not, I will entertain a motion for both sets of minutes.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That motion carries. We will now hear from JDE's controller, Anthony D'Alessio, regarding the approval of the financial reports. Anthony, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you, Commissioner, and good morning, members. The Public Authorities Law requires the annual approval by the authority members and certifications by the President and Chief Executive Officer and the Chief Financial Officer of certain financial reports. The reports consist of financial information as set forth in the combined financial statements and the independent auditor's report March 31, 2025 and 2024 as prepared with our independent audit firm EFPR Group LLP. The audit report for the fiscal year ended March 31, 2025, I'm happy to say contains an unmodified clean opinion reflecting that the combined financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position, results of operations, and cash flows of the authority. In addition, the independent auditor's report on internal control over financial reporting and on compliance, which really addresses whether control deficiencies or material weaknesses in internal control exist, did not identify any deficiencies or any deficiencies that would have been classified as material weaknesses. The audit firm EFPR was able to obtain reasonable assurance that the authority's financial statements are free of material misstatements by performing tests of compliance with certain provisions of laws, regulations, contracts, and grant agreements, including the authority's investment guidelines and other matters. Non-compliance with any of these aspects could have had a direct and material effect on the financial statements and on the line item amounts on those financial statements. Included in the materials presented is the complete audit report for the fiscal year ended March 31, 2025. I'm happy to say that the preparation of the audit report included a 30.9% participation by MBE and WBE firms, minority and woman-owned business enterprises, and 6% by an SDVOB firm, service-disabled, veteran-owned business. The audit committee of the authority is being reconstituted at the present time, so the audit report was sent and is being presented to all members at this meeting. Douglas Zimmerman and Brent Jensen, audit partners for JDA, are present with me today at this meeting, and we're happy to answer any questions that anyone might have. Thank you so much.
So are there any questions or comments related to Anthony's report? As noted earlier, we did not have any comments from the public with regard to this item. So I will now entertain a motion for approval. Second.
Motion.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Thank you. The motion carries. I will now like to call on Matthew Kennedy, Empire State Development's Economic Development Program Specialist 2, to present our next item, which relates to the reexamination of JDA's mission statement and related performance measurements and the acceptance of the performance measurement report for 2024-2025 fiscal year. Matthew, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Good morning, and thank you. Good morning, board members. In accordance with the Public Authorities Law, the New York State Job Development Authority adopted
Matt, we lost your audio, so if you could, maybe you hit the mute button by accident. Or Matt, maybe hang up and dial back in if you've lost connection.
So do you want to move on to Doug Janice and maybe get Matt back?
Yeah, I think we can do that. Sure. Doug, are you on the line?
I am, Debbie.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Doug Janice, NYS Senior Counsel for Corporate and Real Estate, will now present an item relating to the adoption of the authority's revised procurement guidelines. Doug?
Thank you, Chair Knight, and good morning. The members are being asked to adopt revised guidelines for the use, awarding, monitoring, and reporting of procurement contracts for this coming year. The Public Authorities Law requires annual adoption of these guidelines, and the authority has annually adopted and updated revised guidelines when necessary to conform with the law. While the 2025 guidelines are substantially similar to the adopted 2024 guidelines, staff is recommending a few changes to clarify and better organize the guidelines to make them more user-friendly, logical, and coherent, while ensuring that when the JDA needs to procure something, it obtains goods and services in a manner that is open, accountable, and transparent. So changes this year include reviewing and updating all the internal and external internet links to ensure they're all functional and provide the most current information. Further clarifying the division of duties between the originating team and the procurement unit when conducting a solicitation. Removing any duplicative, out-of-date, or extraneous information that is no longer relevant or useful to staff. And updating all of the section numbering and formatting to make the changes logical and coherent. So the 2025 guidelines that are attached to your materials and incorporate all of these changes are hereby being proposed for adoption by the authority. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Are there any questions or comments from the members with regard to this item? As noted earlier, we do not have any comments from the public with regard to this item. I will now entertain a motion for approval.
Motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you. So let's try to go back to Matthew and see if he's on the line.
Hello, I apologize, Zoom disconnected. I'm not sure where it cut me off, so I will
Start from the
start
beginning,
over
I think.
with,
Yeah. 'Cause it was-
of section 2. Okay. So, in accordance with the Public Authorities Law, the New York Job Development Authority adopted the following mission statement and related performance measures to assist the authority in determining how well it is carrying out its mission. Furthermore, pursuant to the Public Authorities Law, the authority must re-examine its mission statement and related performance measures annually to ensure that its mission has not changed and that the performance measures continue to support its mission. To assist the members in the review, the mission statement and the related performance measures are as set forth. Our mission statement. The New York Job Development Authority spurs job growth and capital investment in New York State by using the authority granted to it and by leveraging New York State guaranteed bonds to support low-interest loans to manufacturers and other targeted industries throughout New York State. Our performance measures are the annual number of transactions closed, aggregate value of bonds issued, the number of jobs retained and created with each investment transaction, the amount of private capital investment leveraged, number of transactions delinquent, number of transactions in default, and the number of transactions approved by the authority during the reporting period. On these measurements, JDA may evaluate its performance and the achievement of its goals. For the fiscal year 2024 and 2025, the authority continued its efforts to expand the authority's loan portfolio and increase awareness of the authority's products in the lending and business communities throughout the state. During this period, the members approved a loan for one project, evidencing firm commitments from responsible financial sources for the total project costs, exclusive of any loan request from the authority. Pursuant to Article 8 and Title 8 of the Public Authorities Law, these projects were approved prior to their actual commencement. Closing on the authority's loans and disbursements of these funds occurs upon project completion. Total JDA board approved amount for the one loan is $800,000. In addition, 6 new projects totaling $1,653,158 were approved as part of the aggregate $10 million that was established in the JDA Agriculture Loan Fund in the program 2016. It is anticipated that the 6 JDA agriculture projects will leverage $1,085,861 in private capital, while retaining 20 jobs and creating an additional 8 jobs. Agriculture Loan Fund program is created in order to make loans to lenders, which in turn provide financing to businesses that serve the agriculture industry that would otherwise face difficulties in obtaining capital at reasonable cost for establishing or expanding their enterprises and businesses. In fiscal year 2024-25, no JDA loans went in default. The authority issued no bonds during the reporting period.
Completed your presentation.
Did we lose him again?
No, I wasn't. I got a message that you had lost me, but I don't think you have.
Yeah.
The members are requested to confirm their re-examination of the mission statement and related performance measures, and to accept the fiscal year 2024-2025 performance measurement report in accordance with the Public Authorities Law.
Are there any comments or questions related to this item? As noted earlier, we do not have any comments from the public with regard to this item, so I will now entertain a motion for approval.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. The motion carries. And now, Matthew, you are up again to present our final agenda item, which relates to an update on the JDA loan program. This item is being presented for members' information only, and no vote will be required. I think we just talked about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
all right.
And thank you. And
Do we need to take both of these items separately?
thank you. And thank you for your patience with the technology.
Yeah.
Do we need to take both of these items separately?
So the,
This item now, he is for your information. It's just on the agricultural loan fund program.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you did the vote on the mission statement.
Right.
And you did the vote on the procurement guidelines, and then now this is just for your information.
Okay.
Okay. So Matthew, while you were disconnected before, we did the procurement guidelines with Doug Janice, so you can go ahead and present the agricultural loan fund program update.
okay. Can everyone hear me? My connection working?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. I apologize for the technology issues we've been having. So, as a background, the agriculture and food manufacturing industries are very important economic engines for New York State. In 2024, agriculture contributed approximately $6.8 billion to New York State's gross regional product. And New York State is home to nearly 32,000 family farms and has over 6.5 million acres of land dedicated to farming, strong dairy, vegetable, and fruit production. New York State has nearly 3,000 dairy farms producing 16.1 billion pounds of milk annually. Over 1,600 New York State orchards grow 40 different varieties of apples. And in 2024, New York State vegetable farms produced 51.5 million pounds of pumpkins and 309 million pounds of sweet corn. Related food manufacturing and processing contributed an additional $8.4 million to New York State's gross regional product in 2024. In 2022, New York State ranked first nationally in cottage cheese, sour cream, and yogurt production. And in 2023, New York ranked second nationally in the number of active craft breweries and distilleries and was the nation's third largest grape grower and wine producer. New York State is currently home to over 100,000 food manufacturing jobs. The JDA Agricultural Loan Fund program is a loans to lenders program that was established to target agribusiness firms that are looking to scale up but have limited opportunities aside from their own capital contributions. There's been a strong focus to finance agriculture and food businesses' capital project needs by funding requests for equipment and hard assets that are essential to their success. Currently, there are 9 JDA Agricultural Loan Program lender participants with a total of $10 million in funding. $9.5 million was committed and $8.66 million has been dispersed to program participants. Some of these lenders have now reached their repayment cycle, and $5.055 million is still dispersed or is available to draw, with the remaining $4.945 million in funding available to be recommitted to lenders and loans. Program staff are actively seeking new participants to leverage those funds. There have been 55 loans made by the JDA Agricultural Loan Program participants, totaling $5.634 million that has leveraged an additional $38.69 million in private capital. This has resulted in $44.33 million in economic activity for New York State agribusinesses. The JDA Agriculture Loan Fund Program has been very well received by the agriculture business and the agriculture community, and program funds have expanded the selected lenders' capital base. Low interest loans and fees have helped increase access for capital for New York State agribusiness owners, which is of critical importance during these uncertain economic times New York State is now facing. Included, attached to this transaction or this report is an activity report of the loans that have been executed under the program. So if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer.
Are there any questions or comments with regard to this item? As noted earlier, we do not have any comments from the public on this item. And there being no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone, for your participation in this meeting.